So over the weekend, Five Nights at Freddy's got released in theaters, and this is a good weekend to release this movie because of Halloween, obviously. Though I think this movie will make money well past Halloween because this is a very popular franchise with kids. It's been around for a while. Not really my thing. I've never really got into this, never played any of these games, but I recognize how popular they are. Well, now it got a movie, and coming up to the release, it was almost like critics were doing everything they could to stop it. I mean, you could see the tomato score right there, 28%, and it gets even wilder when you check top critics because it's now at 23%. Audience score, vastly different. Verified audience, 88. All audience, 90%. So once again, you have a massive divide between critics from Hollywood and regular people, proving that they are not in touch with what regular people like as usual. They all sit in their ivory towers, drinking their daily Starbucks, laughing at the commoners. So they are probably a little upset because this movie made a lot of money. Probably going to make even more money as time goes on. That'll depend on how much people are truly liking it if they go back to see it again and again and again. I hope it makes all of the money so that it interferes with Captain Marvel's box office, which is right around the corner. I can't wait for the Marvels to come out. We'll see if those cat posters are going to sell that movie. But anyway, this thing made nearly 131 million worldwide. I think the exact number is somewhere around there. That is pretty damn big. And the crazy thing about this is you could actually stream it. It released on Peacock and in theaters at the same time, proving once again that using that as an excuse for the box office take is bullshit because people will still go to the movie theaters if they want to see it. You could have watched it at home. And the fact that it was on Peacock, guess what? That means that there's a pristine, high-definition, pirated copy out there, I'm sure, that people had access to, and they still went to the theaters to see it. So, probably a little upset out there in Hollywood critic land. Once again, proving how unnecessary they are. Hollywood critics they're just not necessary. It's kind of a dead job, to be honest, because no one seems to respect them or their opinions. If they get together to go after something and hit it with negative praise or negative attention, it seems to only fuel people to want to go see it more. I think a lot of people like to do that just to spite them. Because how many times have we seen this? There's more examples of this than ever before. It just happened again the other day with another movie. I forget what it was, but once again, they were proven to be idiots, and nobody cared about them. It's this movie right here, Old Dads. But this didn't go to the theaters. This was only on Netflix, and this movie's doing just fine on Netflix. And critics hated it. Audiences liked it, which is always funny. I love it when this happens. Because it just proves once again that nobody gives a shit about anything that critics have to say. So it actually broke a lot of records. There's a whole list right here. Highest grossing opening weekend for Blumhouse. 19th Blumhouse film to open in first place at the domestic box office, overtaking Scream 6. Second largest debut of all time for a video game adaptation, right behind Super Mario Brothers. Tied for best opening weekend for a day and date streaming release with Marvel's Black Widow coming at number 2. Biggest opening weekend ever for Universal and Peacock's hybrid release, beating the slasher sequels Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends. Highest grossing opening weekend for a Halloween weekend release, outperforming Puss in Boots. Third biggest debut for any horror film, trailing 2017's It. Best debut ever for a PG-13 horror film, besting 2001's The Mummy Returns. On the international scale, it was the second biggest horror opening of the year after The Nun 2, and on the global scale, it's the biggest biggest horror opening ahead of The Nun 2, highest grossing Blumhouse global opening of all time. So a lot of wins there for this movie. The Blumhouse people, you got to give them some credit. These people crank out movies left and right. They're all cheaply made. They all have low budgets. All of them have low budgets. So this movie has probably already made, I don't know how much it costs to make it, but it's probably already, if not made its money back, it's probably damn close to making its money back. These people are really good at making cheap movies. Like Hollywood could learn from them, because especially like Disney should hire some of these people, because Disney, look at Snow White. They had to shut that down. That's getting another batch of reshoots. All of their movies are bloated trash. At least if Blumhouse makes some trash, it doesn't cost much money, and they can still probably make some money because they make the budgets for these things are so damn cheap. Like Megan, I saw that last year. Loved that movie. Thought it was great. That movie was cheap. It was like $30 million or some shit to make, and that had a CGI doll in it. So, you know, you got to give it up. Whether you like them or you don't like them, you cannot help but respect the fact that they, in a world where everyone is just making these movies that need to make $900 million to make a credit of money, they're doing it left and right all the time. So I guess the Five Nights at Freddy's guy was an open Trump supporter and a proud Christian. So I'm sure that critics are going to seethe once they remember that. I was just talking about that the other day. Like, this dude was put through the ringer because of that, and now, like, this is just adding more money to that guy's pocket. Anyway, another bad day for critics. Another funny day for us, laughing at how silly they are. So that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments below. I would like to hear from you. What are your thoughts on all of this? Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell. Check out my Rumble and Locals, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my Locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my Locals.